some interesting conversation about the Oberlin decision at the college, and I am so excited for Gibson Bakery. And I caught up with a friend, someone that you know, you admire, former Governor Scott Walker from the great state of Wisconsin. We've been rooting for him, but now he's at Young America Foundation, training up those young minds to fight on these college campuses. And I ran into him. He came in from Chicago. He said, "Yes, Star, I've got a few minutes for you." So thank you, Governor, for being on with us.
My pleasure. You ask, Star, and I'll be there.
I'm so excited about it because, you know, this is a big win. The left has had us on the hot seat for a whole long time, and now we've seen a big win against a college that overreached, playing the race card, they overreached. But your organization, Ron Robinson began it. I've been on 200 colleges for you, maybe 250 colleges for you, and now you're in charge with a new vision to really press in. Tell us about Young America Foundation, what it is, your vision, what it is you're doing, and excite us about we can win this cultural war for our country.
Yeah, absolutely. We're, in fact, you know how it is being a part of this as well. We're doing 28 lectures in 24 days on campuses all across America. I call it the invasion of conservative minds opening up things on our very liberal, woke campuses. But what we do simply at Young America's Foundation, YAF.org, is help train the next generation of leaders in the fight for freedom. Yeah. And as you know, these young people are battling not only in colleges, but increasingly in our schools from K through 12, not only government run, but even private and sometimes even faith-based institutions who bought into this woke agenda, who want to pit one group of Americans versus another based on race and sex and gender, not to try and resolve conflicts in those areas, but really to try and stir it up. In many ways, applying some of the same strategies Marxists have in the past over class warfare, they're doing in all these other areas. And in contrast, we're trying to tell people why we love America, why we want to continue to improve it. We want to make sure whether someone's young or old, rich or poor, black or white, we don't care. The bottom line is we love America. We want to make sure that everyone has the same freedoms and the same opportunities that so many of us have inherited from past generations. And that's why I'm excited to be a part of it, whether it's through campus lectures, whether it's through our digital means of reaching last year some 353 million people on videos of our lectures across the country, conferences, visits to the Reagan Ranch, now the Reagan Boyd Home, and events all across the country. So
Wait. Now the Reagan, now the Reagan what? I mean, I know the ranch. They even put me on a horse one time with the stellar students that you guys have. What are you calling it now? What is the new program?
Reagan Ranch continues to be a hot spot. We just had middle school students there last week. A couple weeks before that, we had high school students. But we just took over not long ago in Dixon, Illinois, Ronald Reagan's boyhood home. So the place where he grew up, where his values were shaped, particularly by his mother, who was a strong Christian, a wonderful Sunday school teacher. And you can see how that stayed with him all throughout his life as president and beyond. And even though we're not solely about Ronald Reagan, a good part of his optimism, that happy warrior of taking on the radical left, but doing it in a way that was upbeat and optimistic, is a big part of who we are. And it's just one more asset we have now, particularly in the middle of the country.
Well, you sound very optimistic about it, because I know that when I started on the lecture series with Young American Foundation, we were always on the defense. We were just constantly being beat up, run off campuses, wounds to show for it. And now it sounds like we've turned a corner from the optimism in your voice. What about this Oberlin decision? Is that putting more wind in your sail? Are you finding that there are many Americans that are now starting to say, wait a minute, we want to fix what is broken down. We don't want to keep apologizing. We want to press into our founding principles. Are you finding a shift now?
Yeah, I really do think so. And I think it's one of those where, with all this, not only in this decision, but with all the talk about critical race theory and everything else going on with that, I want our young people, whether it's in college or younger, to learn about our history, the good, the bad, and the ugly, to see how we triumphed over some of the ills of the past, how we moved towards the American promise, how we were founded on these principles that not everyone leading always lived up to, but how we've constantly gotten better and better. But we're still the most exceptional country in the world. And we don't need people tearing us apart. For all the talk from Joe Biden about unity, what you saw on this campus, like so many other campuses, is people who immediately rush anytime they disagree with someone to labeling them. It could be racist, as it was in this instance. It could be sexist. It could be transphobic, as we hear quite a bit these
Yeah.
days. But their whole objective is to pit one group versus another. That's, again, a Marxist strategy. That's rules for radicals. That's what we've seen all too often in the past. And these campuses, it's not just radicals, it's radical administrators and student government officials. That was the heart of this case, saying this isn't a free speech issue. Someone can speak out and speak wrongly on issues. That's one thing. But when the institution of the campus to the student government and through allowing staff to go out and pass on these things that were liable, they're liable for, they have to be consequences. And that's
right.
I think a real eye opener for other campuses who just kind of blindly go along with these intimidation tactics.